you always have so much content, Bobby Sauce? Because Big Blue is running this country into the ground. I find it absolutely hilarious how all these multi-millionaire elites find humor in slandering small business owners that are trying to put food on the table for their families. But yeah, who cares about that? Who cares about logic and facts and truth and honesty? Who cares about that? Who cares about the little guy? Just Amazon, Target, Walmart. Feed the machine. Because absolutely nothing matters except deflecting blame away from all of those that deserve it and pointing it at all of those who don't. And who seems to be in the crosshairs this week for the multi-millionaire elites? Well, it's none other than a small pub on Staten Island called Mac's Public House. I'm sure you've heard of it. In what has been a tumultuous year for any small business in the state of New York, Mac's Public House is just one of thousands of small businesses that has been nearly destroyed as a result of all these Corona clap restrictions and shutdowns across the entire state. When the owners of Mac's Public House realized that they were placed in an orange zone by the Dehydrated Owl and DeGarbio of New York, they realized that they pretty much were out of options or they would face a certain shutdown if they were not allowed to open their doors again. A guy running a small business in Staten Island that's trying to put food on the table for his family and his employees before the holiday season after an absolutely horrendous year where he nearly lost his livelihood deserves anger. And naturally, because everything is hot garbage and the world is a dumpster fire, this drew the attention of all of our multi-millionaire entertainment industry elites. Mac's Public House has been slandered in the mainstream media and on nightly entertainment shows for the last week, calling them opening the bar a super spreader event. 100 people socially distanced in a bar in Staten Island. Super spreader. Last night on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, who is so hilarious. Oh my God, guys, have you seen him? His jokes hit. Oh, hilarious. Yeah, it's so funny. Trevor Noah, who is the sneaker of a literal clown and is thought to be funny by -4 people while also being a total corporate shill, decided to insult Danny Presti's physical appearance and suggest that he was taking a stand against staying alive. Trevor is so funny. Oh my God. You gotta love it when Trevor Noah, a South African-born comedian, insults an American for being and acting American. But hey, it wouldn't be Big Blue and the corporate garbage monsters without suggesting that this guy is doing this and getting away with it because he's white. That's right, because he's white. How do you turn the public against a person? Make them a criminal. And this current situation with him running away from these police officers and driving away is their current target. We don't even know the full story of this yet, and of course they just jump to conclusion. Even though his attorneys suggest otherwise, every mainstream news outlet is showing this video today of him running away from police officers and driving away, and of course his attorneys suggest that these were plainclothes officers swarming this guy, but again, we don't know the facts yet. But that does not stop the mainstream media and all these mainstream entertainment elites from absolutely slandering this dude in the public square. It's just par for the course. This is how they do it. Keep in mind, this small business owner has been fined over $50,000 and has been constantly under surveillance and targeted by the police for the last few weeks. But hey, who cares about facts anymore? Who cares about the real truth? Let's just target this guy. Let's just destroy this guy's livelihood. Let's just destroy this guy's life. According to the NYPD, the murder rate in New York City for the first 9 months of 2020 is up 40%. A 127% increase in shooting incidents, a 38% increase in burglary, and a 19% increase in reported rapes. Yet the Dehydrated Owl Cuomo, who is a clown, and de Blasio, DeGarbio, the worst mayor on the planet, and all of the millionaire elites have decided to target this pub. Yet people like Pete Davidson, who was originally from Staten Island, who I kind of like, to be honest, is going to go on TV and have the audacity to call the owners of Mac's Public House and the people that are fighting to feed their families babies for what they're doing. Which is just so funny because SNL is allowed to stay open by skirting the Corona clap restrictions by paying audience members to be employees. Meanwhile, a restaurant can't do the same thing. So all these small business owners get destroyed and the multimillionaire elites laugh and insult them. In a press conference this morning, the owners of Mac's Public House and their legal team declared that they would no longer be holding a planned march that they had set for this week out of respect for law enforcement and law and order. Go figure, respectable human beings. A nod to them. And what was by far my favorite statement of this entire press conference and just wraps this whole thing up in a nice Christmas bow. They said you can go a block and a half away and have a cheeseburger. And if you can show me science that the Corona clap stops at the railroad tracks, I don't see why we can't serve a cheeseburger here. This just illustrates how arbitrary and non-scientific all of these rules are. Meanwhile, everyone is getting destroyed. And anyone who dares to defy these egregious and arbitrary rules to try to save their family and their small business gets slandered in the public eye, insulted by multimillionaire elites, and destroyed, not only with their livelihoods, with their finances, but destroyed in the mainstream media. Yo, this is shameful. Max, you deserve my respect.